Okay, what up ladies and gents, your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite official content creator for the First Descendant, and today what I'm going to go through is actually how to take on Infernal Walker, okay? So, many people have been asking me for a guide on Infernal Walker. You guys who have tuned into streams already know how I fight him, but there are ways to beat him. I will demonstrate both solo and team-based, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't want to create a guide where I tell you, oh, this one guarantees success method, you 100% gonna kill him. Okay, no. Because there's always the chance that Infernal Walker is gonna kill you instead, alright? And no build, no matter how good, no matter how great, is going to get you consistent results because Infernal Walker has a little thing called critical hit resistance, alright? You literally cannot guarantee crits on him even with Hailey. Many of you would have seen that. So quite frankly, Infernal Walker is dangerous, and I could go and fish footage for 24 hours, you know, recording every single run that I do until I get one that's like 15-20 seconds and then show that to you. But that's not an authentic video, and I would never do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it's done authentically, and I'm going to talk you through it. We'll walk through the steps, and we'll do it both solo and in teams. All right? Now, if you like my content, don't forget to register me as your creator, okay? Link is in the video description. Let's get started. First and foremost, we are going to use Viessa's build. So many of you are already familiar with Viessa's build. Viessa and Hailey use roughly the same reactor with the same roles, so that's already what I'm doing. Viessa has the Polar Night set, the Annihilation Memory set. All this is all covered in Viessa's build, and you should already know that. Her bossing setup is right here, Clairvoyance right here, okay? We're using the exact same builds that I've taught to you guys. Nothing is different in any of these builds. Now, first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Infernal Walker stats. So let's take a look at the basics. Okay, first and foremost, what you need to understand is that Infernal Walker... One second. I knew the air conditioning wasn't on. I was wondering, why am I dying of heat in this room? Sorry. Anyway, Infernal Walker has a lot of DPS, and the recommended DPS that you need is 760. This is for your gun. It is irrelevant. Don't think about that. Recommended HP, 23,000. This is actually correct because he won't one-shot you with that, but you don't have a lot of space. So 12,000 will have to do. Okay, your max shield, your shields are not useful against this guy because he's going to rip and tear you, which is pretty much accurate here. Defense, anything above 5,000 is good because, quite frankly, almost all of his damage is elemental in nature, which is why fire resistance can help you a lot. Okay, so now that you understand these stats, let's take a look at your inversion reinforcer. So what can you do to give yourself the best bang for your buck? You're going to want chill focus here, okay? For this particular one, the heightened sensory cells works just fine. I don't use anything else other than that. You might want to take off adrenaline rush because this is for farming, right? Some people like to use void resistance. I don't. I actually just go with antibody explosion because this plus this gives you like up to 3,000 resistance. Not quite the 10,000 you need, but it's decent, all right? So this will help you get started. Okay, so this is what I use in my inversion reinforcer. It is helpful in general, but either way, he's still going to rip and tear you to shreds. So quite frankly, if you want to beat Infernal Walker, you've got to avoid his attacks. He is a fire elemental Colossus, so please bring chill against him. All right, who is chill? Viessa, Hailey. Now, I will start with the solo runs first. I will demonstrate Viessa, and then I will demonstrate Hailey. Okay, I will roughly go through Hailey's perforated build. If you want a more detailed version of what I have done with her perforated build, please let me know. I'll do a separate video on it, okay? But that'll be covered later on in this video. So first, let's go through with Viessa. We'll do a solo run. Now, when it comes to Viessa, okay, and dealing with Infernal Walker, what you have to understand is that when you want to solo him, you will most likely start by putting down chill roads wherever he's going to land. Okay, try to be behind him when the fight starts. Okay, make sure to trigger that. Okay, I try and put the chill down behind him, and if he's gonna do that, then please grapple away as per normal. All right, you should know where the best distance is. Make sure that you're firing your clairvoyance and at least hitting the second level of your beam on him. Okay, and then put down another one. You do pick up the MP related orbs. Okay, those will be helpful to you. Keep dodging attacks with your fast movement speed. Like, you can literally see that I can even dodge missiles like this. The only thing you probably cannot dodge is his gunfire, but that's okay. Now, the main thing you want to take into account is the slope of the terrain. Many of you guys would have seen this on stream, but as you know, the slope of the terrain actually affects how your attacks hit. So you want to be careful of that. If you're firing your third skill upward, okay, what's going to happen is that he's not actually going to take damage, which is pretty bad. So, yeah, there are a few buggy instances like this. To avoid them, I very much prefer... Oop! And don't get too close, because flame fart will also kill you. Sorry, that was my bad. That was my poor movement. Don't do what I just did there, okay? Try to avoid getting caught up by most of his skills, especially the close range ones. Measure your distance appropriately and try to keep him suppressed. Okay, use your skills. If you have to death reset, it's totally fine as well. Like, it's not bad to death reset, but you really do want to avoid it where possible. Okay, try to avoid his hits as much as you can, and keep hitting him with the clairvoyance. There you go, and he's dead right there. If not for the flame fart, I would have only died once, but death resetting is completely normal with this. You've got 3 lives, abuse that fact. Alright, he will die fairly easily. So while this is not the ultra sweaty best way to play Viessa, this is generally how it works, and this is generally what you can do. Now, if your crits are good, you can probably get below a minute. You can even choose to go ham and go completely glass cannon to dish out even more damage. The choice at the end of the day is yours, but this is more than enough to get decent results, and I use this build often. Okay, so there you go. That's Viessa's solo. Now I will do the same solo, but with Hailey. It requires a slightly different playstyle, and like I said, success is not really guaranteed because Hailey has to stoop to snipe, and you also have to use the death resets. Dying to reset is okay. You would have seen this on stream several times because it is literally something normal that you will do. I will very quickly go through Hailey's build. Okay, same reactor as before. You'll have the full Slayer set, which we use with Hailey. The Perforator, now you have to build the Perforator in a particular way, but essentially, I'll tell you what are the essential mods. Payout, expand weapon charge, and concentrate support ammo. These 3 are all you need. You're not actually using the Perforator for damage, okay? Now, increasing the damage does slightly increase your damage per hit because Zenith takes the same damage as your base weapon, as the weapon that forms its base. But anyway, payout is key because when you land a weak spot attack, ammo is not consumed for 3 seconds. You can get an extra 2 to 3 shots off in that 3 seconds. Expand weapon charge, concentrate support ammo will give you the same 7 rounds that you would have on Piercing Light. This brings you up to 10 rounds, and if you roll on the Perforator, rounds per magazine, 11.8% I think is the break point, but if you roll 12%, you will get an extra shot on top of that, so you can get up to 11 shots in your Perforator, which can absolutely devastate this guy, so you can theoretically do that. But I choose not to do that. I just went with my regular Perforator. I tried to roll it, didn't work out, so I just went back to my regular Perforator, and this is what I do, okay? So module-wise, I call this Maximum Pulse, FYI. There's no real difference between this and the Sniper build, which is the Widowmaker, but the main thing that you will see here is that we have removed shot focus, and we actually take Spear and Shield for a little bit of defense. However, one thing that you can do if you really, really want to is to take the fire resistance, which is heat antibody. You can actually throw that on in place of Spear and Shield if you want to. This will actually help you survive, so we can actually put that on. I'll just showcase a little bit of this. So this with the usual skill concentration, skill insight, focus on chill, all that kind of stuff. Basically, you want to have your cooldowns as high as possible, and if you are bold enough, change Nimble Fingers for MP conversion. Sure, you'll have less max MP, but your cooldowns are a lot faster, allowing you to dish out damage even more. It's up to you, okay? You can do whatever you want there. All right, this is how my Hailey is set up. Now we'll go in again, same thing. I'll do the solo first, then I'll do the team-based play. Now, team-based play, I cannot guarantee a success, but I will try to the best of my abilities to show you what, it takes to succeed, okay? So let's go in and let's get it done. Okay, I just realized my ammo was being covered earlier. I noticed my camera was slightly out of position, so my apologies for that. Okay, let's get in there. Now with Hailey, what I tend to do is, you all know how to do the grapple trick, right? Everybody should know that. It's in my YouTube shorts. Okay, start freezing yourself. Now you want to stay roughly behind him, and I trigger my skill as soon as he comes down and he's about to fire. Now make sure you grapple out of the way if he starts off with the nukes. Okay, now he might choose to missile, in which case you don't have a choice. Start firing. Okay, there we go. And then I shoot him again. Alright. If you have Spear and Shield, you'll do more damage than you're seeing here. Slightly more damage, but it is still more damage. And what I usually do is I'll just run around for a bit. Okay? You want to just run around for a bit. If you take damage, that's okay, but now start chilling yourself again. Try and get a big shot off if you can. If you die, it doesn't matter, because what you're gonna do is a death reset. Okay, so here. Now, he will fire rockets at you, but that's okay. Okay, you guys know the drill, right? What you want to do is get into position, and okay, he's gonna fire those big ones. That's okay. This is probably a bad position to snipe. Whoops. Sorry about that, fam. Get in position, aim, and start blasting. Now, if he starts killing you with that, you may die, unfortunately. Okay, but you still got another life, so once again, he's very low. Just make sure he doesn't nuke you or blast you with too many rockets, and you should be all right. Okay. The nukes are the main thing you have to worry about, as well as the missile barrage. But once you have the opportunity, get in place and just snipe. If you're in a bad position, that's okay. Now, he will either nuke me first, or I'll nuke him first. There we go, I win. But yes, ideally, he won't actually nuke you multiple times, but if you get unlucky, you will die. Alright, that is down to the wire, but that's how the average fight is gonna go. Okay? Of course, I could film, like I said, perfect footage of a perfect fight for you, but, you know, it's up to you. Some fights go better than that, especially when he doesn't spam the missiles and he doesn't hit you with the nukes. Most of you would have seen that on stream. It's like those 40-second, 50-second runs. Those are very easy to do, but like I said, there's no real guarantee, because when you're solo, he's always going to target you, and what attack he comes out with is random, unless you really want to study and memorize his pattern and the percentage chance of each pattern of attack emerging. Like, I'm really not going to do that. Okay, so that's what I do with Hailey if I want to go solo. Now, we're going to do the team-based fights, and I'll start with Hailey first, and then I will show you guys the
Have you completed preparations?
group-based. I'll start with the group-based fights for Hailey, and then I'll show you the group-based fights for Viessa. Okay, so we're going to start a public intercept now. Now, public plays differently from private because, number one, the enemy is 4 times stronger, roughly. And number two, you actually have to be a bit tactical. Okay, you can't just go in there and blast, because he's got a lot more hit points, and you have to be careful. Okay, so you can't just go in there and blast. You have to actually take it step by step and work that way. All right, so I'm going to show you what I do when we go in, and I'm going to show you all the steps that I take in order to succeed in a team-based fight. Okay, Viessa and Hailey play differently, mostly because Hailey does this at long range. Viessa does it kind of up close and personal. Okay, so here we go. Here's the fight. It's starting now. Let's go in and let's do this. Do 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 do. Okay, now we've got 3 Haileys here, so this fight should go by really fast. The methodology to start the fight is exactly the same. Okay, you want to get your cooling done, and as soon as he gets in position, get ready to fire that. If you get lucky with a crit, good. Now you want to back up, depending on who he's targeting. If he's targeting someone else first, good. Scan, and then be patient. Aim for a weak spot, okay? You need to hit a weak spot for your first shot. Why? This will trigger payout with your perforator. This gives you additional shots, so do that first. There you go. Okay, if you can, if he's too close for you to rescue somebody, then oof. You'll just have to make do with it. Otherwise, yeah, you may go down like that. Usually the other people on the team will have to rescue the person that went down. But if he's literally standing over the dude, that's not going to happen. So, okay, if nobody's coming for the rescue, that's okay. You can abandon. This is pretty common in multiple Hailey fights. All right, because it's much more efficient for everybody to just be shooting him. So if there's no rescue coming, just abandon as needed. And then off you go. Okay? But try not to let it happen too often. Now, if you've already gone in Zenith, there's no other option for you. You have to finish shooting him. But then, after you finish shooting him, please go res the person that went. Okay, somebody's being resing them already. I try to get close now, and I'll try to hit him with the big shot, and there we go. This is how the team-based fights go with Hailey. You just want to snipe, shoot, and in between you res. Okay, where possible, you res so that you don't fail the mission. And that brings us to the end of that. Now we're going to head back to town. We're going to switch over to Viessa, and we'll do the same thing, but now with Viessa. Like I said, Viessa's playstyle is different from Hailey. Hailey stays at range and tries not to die. Okay, you try and take your snipe shots in between, try to hit the weak spot to trigger payout, and do the full burst on him. He'll die off. But when you want to do it with Viessa, you are surprisingly the distraction. So while the fight starts in the same way, you will actually fight him slightly differently. Okay, so we're going to switch back to the true Ice Queen build. There it is. Once again, swap to the bossing build. Okay, there it is. Modules, everything all set. Your clairvoyance should be set. Don't have to walk all the way to Seneca. So we're going to start a public match now, and then we'll go through it together. Okay, so I hope that this guidance helps you guys with Infernal Walker. This is exactly the same thing that I've been doing on stream. All right, it's just literally an iterative process. You just have to go through it again and again, get used to it. You know, for the solos, just get used to blasting him, taking the risks, shooting him down as needed. For the team-based, you just need to know what to do and what is your role and how to not get caught in your role and how to pick up others. Okay? For more detailed walkthroughs, check out what I've done on stream. Okay? Tuning into stream is one of the best ways that you can actually get this information. But the videos are also a good guidance. All right? So I hope that it will help.
Target confirmed. Ready.
Okay, now we're in. Now Viessa can relax a little bit, because for Viessa, it's not important. It's not important to be in a specific position. However, you will still run your ice road behind the fella. Okay, so this is where he comes down, right? So you will be behind him as always, and get ready. Plonk down your blizzard right in the center, and start moving. Okay, start schmoving. Now, if he happens to go down, because, we've got two Haileys, right? Good. Take advantage of it. You want to stay at a reasonable distance where your cold snap, your third skill, can hit him. Alright, but one where you're not sacrificing. Oh, if you go down, that's completely okay. Alright, I would not waste time. Again, here, since it's roughly the same team, I'm not going to force them to res me or anything. I'm just going to let the Haileys do their thing. Because, yep, they've done it. There we go. So that wasn't really an excellent demonstration with Viessa's team base, but basically you are the distraction. You die, that's okay. Your job is to enable other people to do their job. Now, if you want a more in-depth look at Viessa, again, streams are the best way because, like I said, I could record dozens and dozens and dozens of fight until I get one where it's bad and I have to show you the whole fight playing as Viessa, but that's not productive for you either, so there you go. That's literally how teams work. It is different from solo because you're not taking all the aggro and other people are helping you out with the damage. If you are taking the aggro, 3 other people should be dealing damage. In a perfect world. Now, in an imperfect world, the other 3 people are dead and you're the only one dealing damage. So, unfortunately, that's a situation that does still happen, but you gotta take the good with the bad, right? So choose whichever way you want. I hope this guidance was helpful to you. Realistically, all you really need is a chill Descendant with my build. Go in there and you can start smacking. Are there other builds that are better and can do better and things like that? Maybe. I suppose there are. I mean, I don't know. Look, dudes, I'll be real with you. This is what has gotten me the best results thus far. I'm sure you could configure the builds to get a little more power here, a little less survival here, a little more this, a little more that. You can do anything in any way you want. It's all up to you. Okay, nobody's gonna say anything bad. Nobody's gonna start screaming and screeching about that. Do whatever you want. If you think you can do better, then you go ahead and you do better. But this is what works for me. This is what works for an average level of skill. Okay, you don't have to think too hard about it. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I hope you guys keep supporting the channel. I hope you guys have registered me as your official content creator. If you haven't, I'm gonna be sad. You want to see a grown man cry? Don't make a grown man cry. Okay. And of course, big thank you to January's top supporters. Top tipper is CG Mayhem. Top tipper list includes Bravo7910. Top super chatter is Lawbreaker. Top super chatter list includes D. Russ, Phil, Megapint, George Tishan, Chanel, named Sir Tommy. And top channel membership gifter is Arcane Silver 300. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. It's Marvel Rivals Day today, so I'm going to play more of that. You guys have fun with your TFD, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.